I'm Theresa Harris, and I have the privilege to serve as the coordinator of the AAAS Science and Human Rights Coalition. Every year since 2009, the coalition has hosted these conferences. We got snowed out one year, but we still got together that spring. We all joined remotely last year, and in doing so, we learned how much the virtual space connected us. And this year, I've been inspired all over again. If you missed the sessions yesterday, they were amazing. The sessions are all recorded in day one, and you can view those recordings. You can also log into the website and view those through November. I'm so grateful to the organizers of those sessions yesterday because for bringing together experts from around the world in so many areas of scientific knowledge and human rights expertise. In her opening remarks yesterday morning, Jessica Wyndham described 5 key connections between science and human rights: the rights of scientists, the applications of science to human rights, the human right to science, scientists as a constituency for human rights, and the human rights responsibilities of scientists. And we saw every one of those themes in the sessions yesterday. We talked about how the scientific community can support displaced scientists. We heard from advocates in South Africa, Albania, India, and Mongolia who are all using air quality data to advocate for human rights in what can be a life or death situation. We heard from scientists across disciplines who are working together with human rights advocates to use DNA information to end enforced family separations. And we heard about the need to use data responsibly and ways to do better. We also learned how the scientific community is working together to address systemic discrimination and improve equity and inclusion in science, while upholding the core human rights values of transparency, accountability, and dignity. And we talked a lot about the right to science, whether we called it that specifically or referenced it in the context of rights with which it's interdependent and indivisible. The right to information, the right to education, the right to health, and many others, the rights of scientists to collaborate internationally. If you missed any of this, the recordings are on the day one page, and you'll have access to this website to be able to view those through November. Today, we have another agenda packed with leaders in their fields, just like yesterday. We don't often get together in the same room, so even virtually, this is a fantastic opportunity. And that's a big part of what the coalition does. We bring together scientists, engineers, and health professionals from across disciplines with human rights advocates and scholars to strengthen each other's work and to work toward common goals. I hope in between the sessions, you'll take some time to explore the virtual conference forum. You can also access it during a session if you have thoughts, you want to continue a conversation, a side conversation, using the little icon down in the bottom right of your screen. There's a pull-down menu on the top of your screen that'll take you to the student presentations, which are phenomenal. I highly recommend it. And also to that networking session as well. In the networking section of the website, you can create a profile, create a discussion thread, and message other meeting participants directly. Think of it as that hallway outside the meeting room where you can meet and chat. You'll see there are a few spaces already set up to get you started, but feel free to create new ones as needed. Every time we ask our in-person conference attendees, and again, we've been having these conferences for a long time now. We ask them what they like best about the meetings. And one of the things that always comes up is the opportunity to find people in other disciplines at NGOs, at other universities, who share your interests and the commitment to human rights that you have. The Science, Technology, and Human Rights conferences have led to co-authored articles, field research, partnerships, new collaborations, and new impacts. the presentations and conversations have inspired innovative approaches to human rights documentation, things nobody had tried before, new directions for scientific research. So please look for those opportunities to find each other, even though we're online this year. The challenges we're talking about over these next 2 days, yesterday and today, these challenges can't wait until we meet in person. We need to find each other now, and we need to be working together now. So today the agenda is bookended with some conversations about science and science education and human rights education. This is another theme we've talked about for several years at our conferences and within the coalition in between conferences as a priority for moving forward. We have to figure out how to better connect human rights educators, which is its own field, its own discipline, with scientific education, STEM education, which of course is its own discipline. We have people today in several sessions, including this next session and the closing, who are going to share their experience, people who are doing it on the ground with students now who have feedback, evidence of what works, and can help move us forward together as we build more resources, more tools, build a community of educators who are working on this. If you aren't an educator, there's still a lot to learn from this about how we communicate science, how we communicate human rights, how we make those connections. So I hope that you will get as much out of these sessions as I always do every year. And please do find each other in the networking sessions. Thanks.